Small Business Background Check Guide: How to Avoid Hiring a Crook. Labor experts and law enforcement researchers say that 1/3 of job applicants lie about having higher education or the duration of their previous employment, while a quarter use other names, lie about criminal convictions, and don't disclose they have had serious motor vehicle violations. Find out what you can do to better review and interview applicants and weed out the criminals from your candidate pool while complying with regulations. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. How you doing today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you were to ask me. If you're doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. Today I want to talk about Small Business Background Check Guide and give you some tips on how to avoid hiring a crook. Number one, verify a candidate's social security number. Now, this is the key word here, social security number, and you can do so through credit bureaus such as TransUnion, Equifax, or Experian. Now, you can even run a credit report on the candidate. This is perfectly legal. Now, by doing that, you are ensuring that those who are hired are indeed who they say they are, right? Because the last thing you want is to hire someone who says that his name is John Doe. You realize that he's in reality Jim Doe, right? So the data results of a social security number verification can contain the state of an approximate year of the number. You can also see if this is an invalid social security number, if it's a non-issued or misused number. You can also see the status on whether the number has been used to file a death claim. You can see the address or addresses of the user, employer or employers of the user, and the year of birth or age of the user. What I'm trying to say here is that by getting that social security number, you have a wealth of information about the candidates that will tell you whether or not you are on the right track in the hire process. The second thing you want to do is to do a criminal history check. Now, this can be a little bit convoluted because we live in a union where you have 50 states and you have a variety of convoluted laws per state. So you're going to have to navigate that. Now, remember though that there is still a possibility, because searches can only be done on a local level, because there is no national database about criminal history. Of course they have that, but this is for law enforcement. This is the an FBI run database that allows local officials and federal officials to track who is a scammer, who is a crook. But as a business owner, you don't have the legal apparatus or the legal structure or protection to conduct this kind of search at a national level, but you can do this on a local level. Now, federal law, that's true, only permits employers to check criminal histories of individuals from the last 7 to 10 years. So it's better to check on the county level. Now, even the last 10 years, that's still reasonable, right? Because you really shouldn't care about what somebody did 15 years ago, unless it's really a true, like a gross kind of crime, right? If it's a misdemeanor or another type of minor crime, it shouldn't be a problem. But so you can do a criminal history search on a county level, rather, and this will go as far back as the last 20, 30 years, whatever. Get references from prior employers. This is the third thing you need to do to avoid hiring a crook. Try to get references. Don't even try, do it. Get references from prior employers. Now, the trend is for prior employers to reveal as little information as possible. The good thing is that we have 32 states right now in the union that have laws that provide immunity to employers for passing on legitimate information, as long as this is done without malice, right? This is done without bad intention. So right now, 32 states, including the big ones, California, Texas, New York, Illinois, they have allowed employers to pass on, to actually share info with each other about applicants, about professionals. So reach out to former employers and just inquire. You might find something interesting or troubling about the person you just are getting ready to hire. All right, I'll be right back right after this for more. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. We are still having a conversation today around how to avoid hiring a crook. I will give you the number 4. Tip number 4. You want to run a full background check. Now, running a background check on a potential hire or a renter, for that matter, this is for the landlords. This can help you protect your business, other employees, and your clients. This is very important here because you're not running a background check just to ascertain the quality of the applicants you're about to hire. You also indirectly or directly in some cases protecting your business, other employees, and your clients. We live in a world where the workplace is becoming more of a microcosm, and everything that filters out of the workplace can damage a company's operations, personnel, clients, suppliers, you name it, the whole value chain. So by taking precautions to remove the quote unquote bad apple, that bad tomato, that rotten tomato, that crook employee or crook applicants out of the whole value chain, this is in essence preserving the quality of your company, the quality of your operations. So when you conduct a background screening, you improve your chances of finding falsified or missing information. Now, there was a survey done a few years ago by CareerBuilder, the online job resource, and they found that more than 1/3 of employers who made a bad hire said it was because the employee lied about his or her qualifications. So background screening also can improve your regulatory compliance and workplace safety and lower the chances of you facing a negligent hiring claim. All right. Now, background checks can help you make a proper hiring decision, but you gotta be aware of applicable regulations because a lot of small business owners, they just believe that the background check is just a bulletproof approach, but it's not. It really is not. It depends on the state, but also depends on the industry you're in. So it is not against federal law to run a background check prior to making a job offer. However, you got to comply with the Fair Credit Reporting Act, the FCRA. This is the act that governs how these checks must be conducted. What's more, some states also place restrictions on background screening. So it is really important to go through your HR department and make sure that your state and local laws are in sync with the background checks that you want to conduct. Now, you also need to remember that federal laws that protect applicants from discrimination are there for a good reason. So you want to abide by those laws also, right? You can learn more on the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission website, the EEOC. Now, you are ultimately responsible for understanding the regulations that impact your business, your operations, and your value chain. There are a lot of good background screening services, however, that can help you demonstrate compliance with these regulations. Right now, we're not naming names here, but those background screening services, they provide a range of products that cover not only the screening needs overall, but also specific screening needs. In other words, are you trying to find out where the applicants has lived in the last 5 to 10 years? Are you trying to find out where they went to school? Are you trying to find out whether or not they've filed for bankruptcy in the last 10 years? So many levels of information that you can get through a background screening service. Now, the pricing and the customization vary for those services, and you have companies that offer packages and add-ons, right? And others just have an all-in offer. Just go on the internet and just type background screening services in your area, and I'm sure you'll get a bunch of results. Another thing you can do is to consider hiring a full service company. Now, a full service company is distinct from a background screening service. A full service company offers, as the name implied, an all-in offer. Now, most businesses will need some combination of the fairly standard reports available through full service companies, right? And what they do here is that they cover the whole 9 yards, if you will. They will do everything about you. They will conduct a deep, thorough investigation about the applicants you're trying to hire. They will do social security number trace and validation. They will do a county criminal history search. They will do a national criminal database search, sex offender list search. They'll even do an OFAC global terrorist search. Now, the OFAC is important, especially if you are in the financial services, and the last thing you want is to hire someone who has been blacklisted by the United States Treasury, right? So by performing an OFAC global terrorist search, you're able to weed out those quote unquote bad apples from your basket. You can know they also do a full service company also conducts a federal criminal search, national alias search. They have add-on reports that can include driving records, employment verification, drug screening, professional license verification. This is a key element in certain industries where professionals must be licensed. So in the last 10 to 15 years, according to several surveys, including the one done by a career builder, we've been seeing that some professionals are lying about their licenses and their certificates. Think about it. Imagine that you're hiring a CPA. You work in an industry where it is critical to have the proper accounting and financial expertise, and you're hiring someone who tells you that he or she is a CPA. Now, CPA stands for Certified Public Accountant, and that person tells you that they're a CPA, and you find out they're not by verifying with the state board of education. That those mistakes may have consequences. So by hiring a full service company, they'll be able to weed out that liar out of your candidate pool. They also do international searches, in-person county court record retrieval. They do credit checks and reference interviews. So a full service company offers a wide array of services that may be relevant to your company as you are trying to scrutinize the candidate pool and trying to extract the best candidates and the trustworthy candidates from the rest. I'll be right back right after this. Do not go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. I hope that you are still having fun, and we are doing fantastic. This is one of the topics we love the most, and I've been talking to you about a small business background check guide, how to avoid hiring a crook. If you love the clarity and quality of the content so far, please consider subscribing to our channel and turn on the notification bell so you are informed whenever we drop a new show. Like this content, share if you believe that it is adding value to your life or might add value to somebody's life. The next thing you want to do is to choose the most suitable background screening company for your business. Now, I've spoken about using a full screening service, using a background check, but how do you go about choosing the business, the background screening business that is suitable to your particular business? Now, a lot of times the types of background reports you will need depends on your industry. I've already said that, right? So if you are in the financial services, you might need to verify that an applicant has the proper license, whether it is a Series 7 or Series 9. If they have to comply with FINRA regulations. Now, in that case, you don't really need to verify a potential employee's motor vehicle records, right? But if you were to hire a truck driver, if you were in the logistics business and own, for example, a trucking company, if you will, you will want to make sure the person you're trying to hire doesn't have any motor vehicle records or any record violation, right? Background screening company, a background screening company in this case, may give you the proper depth and breadth of information you're looking for, right? Now, whether again, you are in finance, banking, insurance, medical, real estate, household, transportation, staffing, there are things that you have to pay attention to, however, to make sure that the service you are selecting applies to your particular industry. Now, you have to think about price, because pricing varies across companies, and depending upon the types and quantities of reports you need, you might need to budget accordingly. A lot of small businesses would prefer to have a DIY service. Now, the DIY services cost less, but you'll need to invest your personal time or your employees' time in it, right? Now, if you want to switch to a full lane, on an all lane where you get the whole breadth and depth of services, you might be paying around $100 per applicant. Again, process changes depending upon the industry, but if you do a search, you would see that the average price for a candidate is $100. The all in, the deep report. You also got to think about whether the company offers DIY versus full service options. Some companies, some background screening companies, have a platform where they have developed a platform and they're giving you all the tools. So you just go on the platform, fill in the forms, and enter the employee's name and name, address, social security number, and everything, and they'll do the work. The platform will do the work for you. That's cheaper than going with the full service options, where you are essentially outsourcing the task to the background screening company. In that case, they will charge you more. The third criterion you have to pay attention to is compliance with federal regulation, federal and state regulations. I already spoke earlier about the FCRA, the FCRA, right? And this is FCRA again governs how background checks must be conducted. So if you're doing for FCRA stands for the Fair Credit Reporting Act. Fair Credit Reporting Act. So that governs how background checks must be conducted. So if you're if you are going with a DIY approach, in other words, you're going to the platform and you're entering an applicant's info yourself, and you're doing everything by yourself, make sure that you comply with regulations, and make sure that, because the DIY approaches that we've seen so far often do not comply with regulations. And those regulations require, among other things, that job candidates consent to background checks in writing and that they may review results. Let me repeat that. This is very important. A lot of small businesses make that mistake. Before you can run a background check on someone, you need to get consent from the candidates. And you need to get this consent in writing, not through a phone call. And you have to tell them that the candidate that he or she may review the results. So when reviewing any company, it is a good idea to verify that its processes are FCRA compliant. You also have the other regulations from the Federal Trade Commission that you'll have to again abide by as you're going through the process. Now, another criterion to look at when choosing the most suitable background screening company for your business is the breadth of offerings, the array of offerings, the basket of products and services. Now, while background screening companies may run many of their searches through online databases, those that are full service often include live person services such as reference checks and county court visits. These services can add to the validity and accuracy of your background check. Think about it. So you're hiring a company that has a staff member who actually goes to the county court to get info on your applicants, or calls the references that the applicant has left on their application, and will talk with a live person and inquire in depth about the candidates you're about to hire. this can get better than that, right? This is just fantastic. So you are pushing forward the quality. You're pushing as high as possible the quality of your candidate pool. Think about also technology when you have to hire a background screening company. The level of technology integration, because some offer online platforms, as I said earlier, that make it easy for candidates to provide information and for you to see real-time reports, while also integrating with many HR platforms. Customer support. Make sure that the background screening company that you're choosing ultimately offers a diverse range of customer support. I'm talking here phone support Monday through Friday, 24/7 email support. You can have, email, online chat options. In some cases, a company might even assign to you an account manager. So as you assess your need for support in your work schedule, look for a company whose availability matches your support need. Look at the quality of the business. You want to look at customer reviews as well as reviews in business publications. You want to evaluate whether the company has any accreditation, such as one from the Better Business Bureau, the BBB, or from an industry association that seeks to hold members to your higher standards. All right. So this is it, folks. This is basically it. So today I was talking to you about small business background check guides, and I was telling you how to avoid hiring a crook. And I said verify a candidate's social security number, to do a criminal history check, to get references from prior employers, to run a background check, to consider hiring a full service company, and to choose the most suitable background screening company for your business. I will see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.